Hello everyone. Today I feel like sharing a little bit of my own journey, how I went from practicing many different paths on my spiritual journey and into practicing Buddhism, especially Pure Land Buddhism. So on my spiritual path, since I was the age of 25, I explored different paths such as yoga, Sufism, Mysticism, Tantra, and shamanism, like plant medicine, and now to Buddhism. So actually before the age of 25, I was not into spirituality, I was not into meditation, not into mindfulness. I didn't know what this meant. What happened at that time, I was a good student, studying very hard at the university. I was pursuing a law degree, pursuing this sort of worldly conventional success that was defined by the society. And at the age of 20, my father died very tragically in an accident. And that sort of dawned on me on the impermanence of life. Although we all know that one day we all have to die, but we really don't think too much about death. And actually death could just happen in any moment. Sometimes we never know. So that really dawned on me on the impermanence and how no matter how much we love a person in our life, one day we still have to separate with him or with her. We have to separate with our family, with all the loved ones. It really doesn't matter how much we own, whether it's money or power. One day we all have to say goodbye with them. So just this serious taste of impermanence, perhaps at a relatively young age, and that again made me think deeper about the meaning of life, the purpose of life. Why am I here? What am I here to do? And what happened to people after death? Is death really the end of everything? All these questions kept popping up on my mind for now and then. And at the age of 22, I had a near-death experience. That experience made me realize perhaps death was not the end of everything, because I clearly remember I still had my consciousness and I could clearly remember what happened after it, although it seemed I was even out of my breath. And I also felt I was in another dimension. I saw like clear white light. So that experience really made me realize there was definitely something after death. Death was not the end. And my other experiences, including some of my dreams, made me really very much believe into reincarnation. So some people think reincarnation is just a theory, a sort of philosophy, but to me it really happens, and we don't just have one life here. It's not YOLO. We have many lives, and we've actually been here for many times, and each time we just keep reincarnating. So after death, our soul or our consciousness will just keep reincarnating again. Although at that time I have not really encountered Buddhism and Buddhist teaching yet, but I pretty much believed in reincarnation. I believed in life after death. I believed in past lives, and I believed we have a soul and we are like this ancient being who has been here for a long time, but every time we just die and then we have a new body or we come back in a different form. After I graduated from law school, I was feeling pretty lost. I knew I did not want to go into the corporate world. Something deep in me just felt there was much to life than what I was experiencing before. And also at university, I felt so much stress due to the large amount of study we had to do. So I picked up yoga, and yoga really helped me to balance my mind. And at the age of 25, a friend invited me to her wedding in India, and it was at that time I joined my first ever yoga and meditation retreat under the foothills of the Himalaya in Rishikesh. And I remember very clearly I had my first ever meditation there near the Ganges River, and I just felt an incredible amount of serenity, of peace and calm I've never experienced in my life, and it was really hard to describe what it was. And also even bliss that I had never really felt for the past 25 years of my life. What's more, it was totally independent of anything outside of me. Before, I always thought I had to keep pursuing things externally in order to make me feel happy, but it was totally wrong. True happiness can only come from within. And for those who have meditation experiences, we will know that true lasting happiness can only come from within. Whatever comes from the outside is only temporary. It's not going to be permanent. Because things change all the time. When we get something, then we feel happy. If we lose something, then we don't feel happy. But with meditation, if we can come to the state of mind that we are actually in the present, and we can be happy all the time, if we can be in the present all the time. At that time, I had no idea what it was, but meditation really did wonder on me. Yeah, so after that meditation session, I again came back to this real life and sort of rethink about what I wanted to do in life. I was a lawyer for a few months, but I knew it could not last. I just could not see myself working in the corporate world. And so I sort of abandoned that career. I became a yoga teacher because of my sort of love and passion for yoga at that time. And after a year or so, I sort of felt like I could not grow further with the yoga path. I was still also curious about exploring different paths because I believe in life after death. I believed in reincarnation, and how can they help me to exit the reincarnation? Would more yoga actually help me? And also, if I die tomorrow, what happens with more yoga? And anyway, hence the search continues. And I encountered Sufism. So I'm actually a lover of all the mysticism in the world, whether it's Sufism or Christianity, the mysticism side of Christianity. I found they also share similarity with Buddhism because Buddhists has realized the Buddha nature within. And the Sufis and all this mysticism, they say, become union with God within. So it's very similar. They share similar messages. But what I found the Buddhist path is that it offers an even more complete sort of explanation about how everything works, where reincarnation came from, how our karma caused reincarnation, how we can actually transcend the cycle of reincarnation, including consciousness, where everything comes from. You can also find the answers in all the Mahayana sutras. Hence, in the end, I stick with Buddhism. I also encountered Tantra. But what happens is I totally misunderstood this tantric path. And in Vajrayana Buddhism, you can't actually practice this higher level of Tantra unless you obtain a very high level of consciousness. And not just any stage of consciousness, but a very high level of enlightenment, to the state of non-regression, in that you will not fall back no matter what. You have sort of realized the emptiness of all phenomena. Then you can go and practice Tantra, but it's actually not for most people. And it's probably very dangerous how the way it's been taught in the West, that if it's available to most people they sort of misunderstood this path. Anyway, so I shared about this in another video, and I will not say more here. And plant medicine. I also explored plant medicine. My experiences in plant medicine actually affirmed the belief in Buddhism, which I may share in another video. At that time, after Tantric path, I felt a bit sort of lost on my own journey, and that was when I encountered the Diamond Sutra. I just found this little Diamond Sutra in my room, and I started to read about it. And I also started to listen to Dharma talk by Master Ching Kong, a 90-year-old Chinese Dharma master. And I felt all of a sudden something just hit me. It was Buddhism, it was Buddhist teaching that I have been looking all the time. And it has always been here, but I was just too ignorant to see. And Master Ching Kong talks about reincarnation, karma, how we can exit the cycle of reincarnation. Especially Master Ching Kong recommended practicing Nianfo by chanting the name of Amitabha Buddha to seek rebirth to Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land. So this is the main practice from the sect of Buddhism called Pure Land Buddhism. Pure Land Buddhism, a lot of people in the West may not have heard of it, but it's actually one of the most popular Mahayana Buddhism that's been practicing in the East Asia, especially in China, for almost 2,000 years. A lot of people actually sought rebirth successfully to Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land, and this is the only method that could help us to exit the cycle of reincarnation without first obtaining enlightenment. And once we arrive in the Pure Land, which is a land with no suffering and all bliss, we can obtain first infinite life, and there we will be destined to obtain enlightenment due to infinite life. This was actually recommended by Sakyamuni Buddha. It was taught by Sakyamuni Buddha, and he recommended everybody in the Dharma decline age, which is 2,000 years after Buddha has passed, to practice this method in order to exit the cycle of reincarnation. I really believed in this, and also for my own experience by my own practice, it just deepened my belief in this. And also the meditation of Nianfo, it's really one of the easiest meditation in that we can just chant the name of Amitabha Buddha in any moment, no matter what we do, to help us come back into the present and to obtain peace of mind in the moment. And so for the past year, I've been studying and living in a Chinese temple and studying Pure Land Buddhism with my Dharma teacher, Master Renshan. I felt extremely fortunate to encounter this Dharma, and it has really helped me on my own journey, and I hope that more people would know about this, especially for those who also have this deep desire to liberate from all sufferings in life, to not be suffered anymore in this world, to be able to transcend all the sufferings, including the suffering of death. Yes, so I hope to share this new journey with you. I wish you well and happy, and may all beings be happy and free from suffering. Namo Amitabha Buddha.